y'all know Hurricane Milton at this point, or it barreled down on Florida, the Florida Gulf Coast, and really through the Florida Peninsula, the central part of the peninsula. Um, you know, the aftermath of this hurricane is gonna be horrific. Like already now, I seen on TikTok a couple of videos of this roof lifted off this house and debris blowing everywhere. Like this is devastating, and I'm worried about Ty Peasant. I hope she lived more inland, but power can still go out, or damage still can ensue, or flooding can still ensue. So after this, I'm gonna check on her and see how she doing, if she able to do so. I don't know about her power outage and not a cell service. So that's that. You know, I'm just so sick of these people. I bet y'all said, what the hell are you talking about? The video I'm about to show you. Um, the title of the video says some Floridians say they can't afford to evacuate. The mayor of Tampa calls them stupid. That's the name of the video. Pull up. There you go. This woman, I guess she finna talk about it and break it down, and I'm gonna talk about it and break it down as well. Like, people, that show you how out of touch these politicians are, and just people that are probably better off. Like, maybe they're more selfish. Maybe they're saying, "Hey, I made it for myself. Why those other well, no, people ain't lazy, but I'm just saying that's what they think. Why those lazy peasants can't pull up themselves up by the bootstraps?" Well, a lot of people can't afford things. Like, a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people don't have savings accounts with $500 in it. When you live in paycheck to paycheck, you ain't saving nothing. Just imagine, that's trauma within itself, living paycheck to paycheck, because imagine, you get your money, you kind of satisfied, you got your money, but then all of a sudden it goes to rent, and next week it might go to electric bill, and next week it goes to insurances, because you need renter's insurance, house insurance, car insurance. Then the next week it might go to health insurance. From your job. It's always something. That reason why people live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, and evacuating, that's a joke. Like, you gotta find a hotel room or Airbnb inland, more inland somewhere, and then you gotta get gas, or or you gotta some people flew out, those most be the more well-off people, or and everybody ain't got family to just move, just to stay with for a couple of days inland. Like, those other people got other stuff, obligations too. Maybe they got a family, and you got a family. So how, well, everybody gonna be packed in the house together? So there's a lot of stuff you gotta think about before you make assumptions. Like, you calling people stupid for not evacuating. Like, yeah, it's a couple of knuckleheads that willing to ride it out, Um, well, you can't control everybody, but I'm pretty sure if these people had the resources, should be provided by the federal government instead of giving out fucking money to Israel, then maybe, they can evacuate, maybe they can survive and come back and clean up and rebuild their lives. Yeah, but calling people stupid for not evacuating, it's fucked up. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna get to this video right here. I found this on YouTube. Here we go.
Welcome you back to the Star Carter Personal Finance channel. My name is Star Carter. In our last couple of videos that we done here on the channel, I have been talking about my experience with Hurricane Helene that came through my area on September 27th. It is October the 8th, and still areas here that has not received power, and I'm in the upstate Lakelands area of South Carolina. If you haven't seen it,
Yeah. Some of y'all may know. Yeah, Hurricane Helene. Yeah, it ravaged the Carolinas pretty hard. Yeah, and she said she still had no power. Yeah, the Biden administration has failed. Yeah, and Karine Jean-Pierre gonna just sit in that booth and act like the Biden administration doing everything in their power. Oh man, it's a damn shame.
that video where I did some footage of my area, I will link that video above. But in my area, we also was impacted by mini tornadoes that hit our area due to the storm of Hurricane Helene. We were very fortunate that we did not have a lot of the flooding. So very, very fortunate where I'm located at. We're really inland. We're not on the coast or anything like that. But that storm took a turn that nobody was expecting, and so we were impacted, as well as western North Carolina and also parts of East Tennessee, as well as Georgia and of course Florida. So now what I'm talking about in this video is my reaction to some TikToks that I found, because as you may or may not already know, there's a hurricane already out there that is expected to make landfall sometime tomorrow night, Wednesday night, in Florida, Hurricane Milton. And they're thinking right now that this hurricane is a category 5. And by the time that it hits landfall, they are hoping
I think it made landfall now as of this video, and it's what, Wednesday evening as of, yeah.
that it downgrades to a category 3. But in this reaction video, the TikToks that I have found, a lot of people are talking about why they
Then I forgot to talk about this too. I think according to Tampa's National Weather Service, they said this is the strongest Hurricane Milton is the strongest hurricane to hit Tampa in 100 years. So so basically this is a once in 100-year type of storm right here. And I hate to be a negative Nancy, but it's gonna be more Hurricane Miltons, coming in the near years, man. Like climate change is just out of control. And you can blame our government and big oil for that, and the military industrial complex, by the way, too.
they're not able to evacuate despite evacuate the area, despite the mayor and other areas are saying that they need to evacuate because this could be.
And then I'm thinking about something too, like Interstate 4 and Interstate 75 in Florida was congested for almost like 30 miles of gridlock. So yeah, when it's hard to evacuate too, everybody can't afford to fly. Train, that's a joke. We ain't got high speed rail. And then, car, but the fucking highways are congested, 30 plus miles. It's like in the northbound direction. It's like, you know, you know, maybe they should like close, like you can't come, like maybe should like open a couple of lanes on the other side of the highway too. Like I think some states do that. I think yeah, some states do that. Like maybe consider that. Maybe they'll help with the floor traffic because some people drive slow, rubberneck. It's always those people on the road. That's the reason why 30 miles of fucking gridlock try to evacuate the storm. You know, so yeah, maybe those people say, ah, hell, I'll just go ride it out too. This is tough, man. Like sitting in traffic for God knows how long in the same area. You know, uh, here we go.
Be worse than Hurricane Helene. So that's what we're going to do a reaction video about in today's video. Also, I want to go ahead and just apologize if you hear any of the road work that's behind me that's coming outside of my shop, because as I was telling you guys, we're still in process of removing debris. People across the street, their whole roof got blowed off, so they are repairing the roof on their business. They're also doing some road work outside, trying to repair this light that's out. That couldn't cement. It's all kind of noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. I don't have any internet at my house, so I can't upload these videos. It's a little bit longer over my cellular service. So I'm having to do this video or any of my videos right now inside of the shop. That way I have Wi-Fi to be able to upload the videos and stuff. So I apologize for me having to film, and all this noise. If you hear it, just take it for love and just understand that we are in the process of trying to get back to what we know is normal here in my town. So let's go ahead and let's look at this reaction video.
Everyone in the Tampa Bay region needs to stay aware of what's happening with Hurricane Milton, and you need to follow the evacuation orders. We haven't been hit.
Oh, wait. Yeah, people should try to follow the evacuation orders, ma'am. But I guess it's the mayor. I guess I don't know if it is. Okay, but the problem is that you need resources to evacuate. Like somebody with no money that can't put gas in their car, what they gonna do? Drive what? How much? 100 miles on a tank of gas and stop in the middle of nowhere. Like, what that's gonna do? You gotta drive to a certain area, drive back, and then if you have house insurance, if you lost your house, ma'am, like you gotta think about. So I'm respecting her. I don't know this woman. People say things, out of fret, but it is what it is. Then you got to worry about rebuilding your community. Then God forbids, it takes years to rebuild this shit. Like I think a hurricane last year hit. Damn, what that part of Florida hit that part of Florida hard. Now I believe they still recovering from that. So Naples, Florida. So easy to tell people, hey, you need to follow evacuation orders. But if you're not going to provide those people that are not heeding to the evacuation orders resources, then don't make no smart remarks like calling them stupid. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Directly by a major hurricane in over 100 years. If Milton stays on the designated path, it will be catastrophic for our area.
Will it be like anything that Tampa has ever seen?
It will not be, because I'm 64 years old, and Helene was the worst that I've seen in my 64 years. That was mostly a water issue. With Milton, we're going to have twice the storm surge, up to 12 feet of water, and the wind on top of that.
For people who are saying they're not going to evacuate, what is your message?
Yeah, that, honestly, you can't deal with stupid.
Hold on, before she say what she got to say, you can't deal with stupid. Well, I'm pretty sure most of those people are not stupid, man. They just can't afford to leave. Just, what? Let me listen. Let me listen to what she said. Let me just, oh Lord, I said I'm gonna try to keep calm, but
I think that was kind of harsh for her to say that, especially as the mayor of Tampa, to say that if somebody doesn't evacuate, that you can't deal with stupid, because you don't know everybody's circumstance, and it's probably
exactly. You don't know. Everybody ain't got money like that. When most of the country is paycheck to paycheck, and you tell these motherfuckers to evacuate, and then the ones that say why they can't evacuate, I can't afford to evacuate, and you gonna call, you said, you can't deal with stupid. You can't deal with stupid. That's a heartless ass answer right there. Could have said, and yeah, there's hurricane shelters, but I'm pretty sure those fill up in seconds. Like, you even in a state like Florida where it's 20 million people, ain't it? 20? Yeah. So like, yeah. Oh, let me let this woman talk.
some people that do want to evacuate, they're not able to evacuate, and we're going to hear some of those people's grievances inside of these TikToks that I was able to compilate together.
Watch this. The storm, just like Helene, is filling up the entire Gulf of Mexico. This storm is bigger. All right, look at the stats right now. And this is the stuff that just came in. Not only is it a Category 5, went from a 1 to a 5 in a matter of hours, it just got stronger. Winds are blowing right now at 100.
Some people say, NBC News said it went from a tropical storm to a 5 in 24 hours. Some folks said 12 hours. Yeah, it's climate change, baby.
180 miles per hour, the strongest we've ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin. Hurricane Allen, back in 1980, had 190 mile per hour winds, but I see more warm water ahead. This could actually strengthen. I think it'll weaken right before it comes onshore as either a 4, maybe a 3, and that's going to be late Wednesday, early Thursday. But take a look at how all eyes are on Tampa, Florida. When you look at the spaghetti models, I know we've got a lot to choose from here, but right now it's coming true. It's showing a true track. About 90% are in line with it coming right into Tampa. Zoom in tight there because you need to look at this. If it goes right where my foot is, okay, right there, it would be just north of Tampa, but that would put all the storm surge into Tampa, and Tampa Bay is directly under that number 48. It would be, Nora, I used this analogy before, it's like the water has nowhere to go. It's like taking a gallon of water and pouring it into a Dixie cup. You're going to fill it up, and then it's just going to bubble up and bubble up and bubble up. You betcha. For everybody in that area, if this holds true, it's the worst storm you have ever seen.
And a lot of us, even in Florida and
yes, that sounds horrible. It does. Yes, that sounds Yeah, catastrophic. Yeah, that's the word for it. But again, this is when the federal government should say, "Hey, we're gonna provide vouchers, $10,000 to families, or per person to evacuate. Make sure they get hotel stays, food, gas. Then you come back. Then we'll take care of your property, a bit small business or whatever." This is when the government should step in and say, "Hey, we value our citizens. We don't want you to die with 12 feet storm surge." That like that shit, like any person with a heart should know to do that. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. But you know, um, people that can't afford to evacuate because of their financial situation, you just can't. You just can't fault. You just can't talk to stupid people. That's basically what that mail said. Fuck out of here, man.
Tampa, they're still trying to clean up from Hurricane Helene, so they haven't even gotten back.
Yeah. Hurricane Helene hit Tampa a couple of weeks ago, and then it hit the that part where Destin and Tallahassee at. People still cleaning up from that. Now they got to do triple the cleanup. And also too, I seen this. Shout out to JB Funt. Follow him on Twitter and YouTube. His name is JB Funt. He said, Lake County had their prisoners to place sandbags around, to help with the hurricane preparation. Yeah, that's slavery right there, modern day slavery. So yeah,
To a normalcy from Hurricane Helene before Milton is right here, right behind it. And you got to understand, guys, we're in hurricane season. Hurricane season, when I looked it up, which is something that I normally don't keep track of, which is shame on me because, just because I'm not in an area that's prone to having hurricanes like that or just getting, tropical storm rain or whatever, I am going to be a lot more vigilant going forward. But with that being said, I think that people have to be a little bit more sensitive to these areas. Um,
yes, people. Yeah, take it from me, man. Yeah, you gotta keep track with the weather. You gotta watch the tropics. If you live in these areas, watch the tropics, man. Prepare. Um, you know, prepare as much as you can. Everybody can't afford to evacuate. I know that, but that's why and I live in the South. We get major winter storms now. Like we get more snow than fucking New York City does does now. So yeah, that's why if threat of a winter storm comes to my area, I try to get eggs and bread and meat and stuff and heat stuff like that because the power could go out due to ice, so and so, or the roads could be iced up or snowed in. So yeah, y'all check the weather, man. Everybody got a cell phone. Check it on your phone from time to time. You never know, man. You never know. My town actually, when the ice storm came, I think 3 years ago. See, I was already prepared. I told people to prepare on Facebook. I was on Facebook more at the time, and then I seen this picture on Facebook showing that this long line of people at Walmart to the end of the store to the front of the store, people lining ready to check out. So it shows you, these people weren't prepared. They, typically in the South, okay, to their credit, when snow comes, it either don't come or it be more northward or it melts quick. But this snowstorm lasts a week. This ice storm, I mean, lasts a week. So always watch the weather, man. You never know.
that are prone to these hurricanes because hurricane season goes from June 1st, from what I've seen, all the way through November the 30th. So this is like the whole time. So hurricane.
Yeah, we got a whole month left to go. So God knows what the Louisiana could get a Category 5 hurricane to hit us. Mississippi, Alabama. Who knows? Yeah. So and then I think it was 3 active hurricanes in the Atlantic, then the Milton in the Gulf. So yeah, yeah. Always keep your eyes on the weather, guys.
After hurricane after hurricane, and I've been tracking it on the Hurricane Center on YouTube, and that's been several of them to spiral up, and then some just died out. Some of them are out there in the Atlantic. They're not expected to make landfall like Hurricane Kirk. It's so many of them that are just spiraling up all of a sudden. And the ones like Hurricane Helene that was in the Gulf of Mexico, this one right here, Milton, that's started off in the Gulf of Mexico as well. And then you got the ones that come off usually from the coast of Africa and stuff like that. So these things, they can spin up quick, and it's depending on what kind of gumbo is going on out there in that ocean water, what kind of conditions that's going to either make it weaker or it's going to make it stronger. We just don't never know. And so, and even though we can do our best with all the technology that we have to try to track the path of these storms, just like Hurricane Helene.
Yep, path could always change.
We thought it was going to go kind of west of Atlanta, and it wound up going east of Atlanta, and we were right in the direct path. Just like with on Western North Carolina, which experienced a lot of flooding because it's a mountainous area, but it was a lot of rivers because of all that water that dumped in on them at one time, and it has really just devastated Western North Carolina, especially Asheville and some of those other towns. So we really have to really.
And I like Asheville too, man. Asheville is a nice city, man. People are very nice there too. I just, I think about them people a lot. I just hate they going through what they're going through because the Biden administration is still sitting on their ass. I guess they starting to help now out of pressure. But yeah, man, yeah. That's why I always say keep your eye on the weather. You might see the hurricane hit a part of the state, then next day over, the model change. The models always change. Same with winter storms. They said we might get 8 inches of snow. It was just crazy in the South. Like, that's just nuts. Like, the South, winter's supposed to be really mild and wet-ish, basically a cold rain, but we getting fucking shit that Chicago and Minnesota and shit get. So, yeah, just always keep an eye on the weather. I know I just said that the 4th, 5th time now. Yeah, she's right.
Really put on our empathy right now and just understand that some of the people, like the people what you're going to see in the videos, they're used to these things. They from Florida. Is no big deal to them. They don't see it like we see it. Especially.
Yeah, I see me joke too. Louisiana, Florida. I joke. I said Floridians we don't take hurricanes seriously. Cat 1, Cat 2. That ain't shit. A little damage. We move on. Clean it up and move on. But yeah, man, Milton ain't no fucking joke. Yeah, Milton said I'm serious. It's serious. So
us that are not used to it, we're like, y'all need to get out of there. But I want you guys to listen to what some of these other people are saying inside of these videos to see another perspective of people that are not able to evacuate for whatever reason. So let's look at those perspectives as well.
Y'all be like, y'all need to evacuate. Do y'all got evacuation money? Because I can't afford my rent here. You think I can afford to go somewhere else? Like, it's not free to evacuate. Gas already high, and you talking about I need to get on the road, go somewhere, and I got to pay to go wherever I'm going.
See, that's why I want to go to Florida hopefully next year, and I want me and Ty Peasant let's just talk to people on the ground. Start talking to people on the ground. Just about certain things because I think us as maybe politicians that just don't get just out of touch. They live in their own echo chamber or just online brain rot that a lot of people have. If people think online is real life, in terms of meeting actually real people, it is. But like these trolls and infiltrators ain't real. So yeah, you heard what she said. I ain't gotta keep repeating it. Like she said, she could barely afford her rent. Rent in Florida is expensive. Like my friend paying $1,500 a month in rent in Florida. Like, yeah, you telling these people to evacuate, follow the evacuation orders, but you're not providing them with funds to evacuate. Like it's like ain't nothing going on around my area. I say everybody need to evacuate. for some reason, um, I can evacuate technically. Like I could go to my mama's house, but in Tupelo, Mississippi. But I'm fortunate, right? You know, I'm fortunate, but a lot of people probably don't have a parent to go home to. Maybe they don't talk to their parents no more. That happens. Their parents dead. Their parents don't have a home. Maybe they're homeless. Like you don't know people's situation. Everybody got different situations. So I'm gonna let her continue. She cooking here. She telling the truth.
Like, what are y'all talking about? Evacuated. You're not taking it serious. Baby, my bank account, I guess not taking it serious because I can't afford that.
And I could see that being a
Yep.
growing concern, especially if you just had to kick out a whole lot of money because if you were affected by Hurricane Helene. So I can really understand it. Some people have already shoveled out a lot of money and now this hurricane is right behind it. And I know there is things where you want to be prepared for these type of situations, especially if you live in an area where you are prone.
Yes. I had to say this too. Yes. It's good to be prepared. Like checking what the weather daily basis. But yeah, more people need to talk about this. Like the government should provide resources like this. Like anywhere. Like not just the Gulf states. California wildfires. Like a wildfire happens due to a lightning strike or something like that. Those people should evacuate, but they should have resources to evacuate. Um, in other states too. A major flooding, rain, you might get a lot of rain, especially in the Midwest where it floods a lot. Those people should be taken care of. Like, the government, I look in other countries and I see that the government are actually taking care of their people. Mostly because those people don't take no shit and they protest. Like, but around here, what's really keeping us from a revolution is propaganda, fucking, propaganda, individualism, and just, fear. Like cop cities, like that's why fear. That's cop cities, more police on the ground, See, fund more police to beat up the folks that are out there trying to change the system or trying to stop a genocide from happening, you know. Do that, scare the other folks, oh hell no, I ain't protesting. Hell no, I don't want to get beat by a cop you know, propaganda on CNN and MSDNC and Fox News, um, you know, you know, just yeah, it's a mixture of everything. So I'm gonna get back to this video.
To hurricanes. I think that's really and truly where an emergency fund would really and truly come into handy for people that are in areas that are prone to it during the hurricane season to make sure that you do have the funds just in case you may have to leave your home to go to a different area. So that's really all.
Look, I know this is stupid, but my thing is, you live in the Gulf states. Why is there not a fund? Well, at least the bare minimum. Well, it should be the federal government providing this fund, but the bare minimum, why the state ain't providing this? Like, I know Ron DeSantis don't give a shit. I know Kay Ivey in Alabama don't give a shit. Tate Reeves, I hate that motherfucker. Mississippi, he don't give a shit. And my governor, he don't give a shit. But over, like, hurricanes is a threat in these states, Georgia too. Well, the Carolina, really, the Atlantic coast and the Gulf Coast should be hurricane funds. Like, you never know what the fuck gonna happen. Hurricane Sandy in 2012. Um, yeah, what that did, that devastated New Jersey and New York. Like my step sister, she lives in Staten Island. She talks about that. Like she didn't have no help. Like, see, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like her house got flooded. Like that's the shit I'm talking about. Like should be resources, at least by the state. Just say it like. Okay, let me continue. Let me let her talk, man.
All I can say about that is that's where the emergency fund would come in handy. But those are the things that you would need to plan for prior. So we're already in the hurricane season, and if you say you had to
Yeah, like hurricane season starts in June, it ends in November. You should plan for it and Make sure it's fully funded and not fucking manipulated during the winter and spring months. I'm just saying, like, you know, oh my goodness.
Deplete your funds because of Hurricane Helene, you may not have the money now. You might have been prepared, but now you already had to use it.
Or I could say this. I think she's talking about from an individual perspective. But yeah, maybe they had a emergency savings account for like evacuations. But let's say their car needed a water pump or needed a you know, maybe it needed a battery. Batteries are very expensive. Maybe they refrigerator went out. They need a new refrigerator. Or maybe, you know, they might need a new roof. It depleted their savings account, you know, because you don't want to take out no loan if you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, shit happens. Like I said, shit happens. You know, but the state should prepare that too. You know what I'm saying? And the federal government as well.
Boom, there's another one. So you will only, as a person that live in that type of area, would know what kind of money you would need to save. You know, as financial educators such as myself, we say that you need to save 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. But if you need to create an emergency,
I forgot she was a I forgot this is a financial channel. I just clicked on it because they were talking about people can't afford to evacuate. Yeah, you know, people need to, well, people want to save, but the problem is that everything is expensive. Grocery prices are expensive, rent is expensive, gas is, you know, it's expensive too. Um Insurance is expensive. Like car insurance went up. You know, see everything keep going up, but the problem is our wages are staying the fucking same. So yeah, but I think this woman, to her credit, she's different. I think she sees the light. You know, a lot of financial advisors would tell you, you know, you just, you know, just don't eat nothing. You gotta eat. You know, just eat ramen noodles and fucking, you know, and just, you know, yeah.
emergency fund and hurricane or natural disaster emergency fund because you're in an area that may be prone to natural disasters. I think that that's something that you may want to implement going forward just to make sure, because you just don't never know. I mean, the weather is something that we cannot control. We cannot control the weather no matter how we think we can't control the weather, you know. Even with their forecasts and you know they tracking it and doing everything they can, as I just said, they still do not know where these things are going to go. So we always got to be prepared, even the ones like myself that don't live on the coast but was affected this time myself. So even if these storms look like they're going to come into your path, even if you don't think they are, we got to still take these things very seriously and get ourselves prepared. I'm going to leave a link in the description box with some things that you can do to be prepared if you are in an area that has been declared that there's going to be some type of natural disaster coming your way.
Yeah, she's right, but you know, she ain't wrong. But again, like, um, our government can afford funds, you know, to help these people evacuate. I'm just saying, like, you know, she ain't wrong either. But you know, it's hard when you living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard, you know. It's hard. It's hard out here for a pimp. And that's right here. This video right here. This is probably why people didn't evacuate either. I mean, the highways are just congested. Well, was congested. You know, like 30. Some people say 30 miles of gridlock. Yeah, like I'm impatient. I'm an impatient guy. That'll deter me too. I'm just saying. You know.
Now, I think being stuck on a bridge trying to get out, trying to evacuate would be my worst fear and my worst nightmare because I really don't do water like that and I don't do, you know, bridges and stuff like that. I want to get on them and get off. And I think that would be my biggest fear, to be stuck on a bridge like this, not knowing how long it's going to take you.
Yeah, I just think about this too. I know, y'all. I'm sorry, I pause a lot. I need to start putting the links to these videos in the description. Like, You know, I need to be better prepared for these live streams, but you can watch it yourself. But I'm just saying, like, this is why infrastructure needs to be top notch. Like, all that weight on that bridge. I think that's that bridge on in I think I crossed that. I went to Tampa because my cousins live there and my uncle lived there. Yeah, the bridge is probably brand new, but that's why, you know, because you never know, you might have to evacuate. But if the bridge is unstable and megatons of weight on it, it might crumble. So you not only dealing with a death from the hurricane itself, destruction from the hurricane, dealing with death and destruction from a bridge collapse. So yeah.
To get the traffic moving again. You already using up gas trying to evacuate, and during this time, that's when, you know, gas stations and all our things that we need to, you know, get around and do the things we need to do is going to be very scarce, just like it.
Yeah, you know, Sabby dad told her, you know, shout out to Sabby Self. You know, I love mentioning her. She's my inspiration to do these videos too. Her dad told her that always have cash and have a full tank of gas. And you know, I'm not good with cash in my hand like that. I use digital payment. Um, you know, digital payment ain't perfect, but I need to go back to using cash. I'm just saying. And I always try to have a full tank of gas. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I try to stretch it out, you know, when my next pay come. But my tank always try to be full because stuff like this happened in Louisiana, you know, I can evacuate. I could drive more miles than just, you know, a lot of people do that. Like, you know, yeah. So yeah, but that's true. You know, Savvy Dad said.
It was for Hurricane Helene. And like I said, they're still going through that right now, still trying to get back on normalcy and already in the thick of something else. So that would be my biggest fear, is to be stuck in traffic trying to evacuate. And that's what some of these other TikTokers are going to say as well.
Look, people gotta stop telling people to evacuate like it's just that easy to just pick.
And let me go ahead and put the disclaimer on. Some of these people are cursing, you know, the TikTok now. So I apologize in advance. All right.
Y'all gonna pay for them to evacuate? Just pray for them. Like, pray for us. Hell, I'm here too. So it's not that easy to just pick your shit up.
You gotta say to yourself, like, yeah. Some people say, well, Andre, these people are playing with life and death here. You know, they are, but you know, this capitalist system we live in, is forcing their hand. Like, you think a lot of people want to shoplift in these stores because of capitalism, because they desperate? You know, you think, you know, I'm just saying, like, that's another example too. Like, yeah, these people want to evacuate. You see, the name of her video, Evacuate Me. Yeah, she wants to leave, but the problem is that she can't avoid it. Same with the people shoplifting. I'm pretty sure they want to go to the counter and check out, but they can't afford it and they're hungry. You know, but, you know, the system, shoplift, imprison them, turn them to slave labor. You know, they're already probably doing slave labor on their job with their corporate bosses, right? You know, they ain't paying them enough, which forcing them to shoplift. Then you go to jail, you're in the system. Then you be corporate masters, and then you helping making sandbags for the hurricane. So, you know, it's this system. Reason why people's lives are shit. It's this fucking system. I'm gonna keep saying it until I'm dead, because people need to understand that. You know, not that people are hard headed. You know, my mama would probably say something like that. You know, my mama, she's old school. She's a boomer. She'll say they hard headed. You know, they just want to do what they want to do. No, mama, people ain't got money like that to evacuate. See, you live up more inland. You know, yeah, a hurricane can affect you too. Like that lady said, you know, that's making this video. She's right. You know, but again, like, yeah, it's tough.
And evacuate, okay? People can't even afford to stay. You think somebody can afford to go? Yeah, no. We just gotta thug it out.
Nobody's getting out of Florida. Nobody's getting out.
Yeah, 30 miles of gridlock. Oh, hell no. Yeah, well, you ain't getting out no time soon.
It is just as far as you can see.
30 miles. Wow.
Stopped.
And just looking at this wall-to-wall traffic where people are actually trying to get out, I don't want to sit here from a judgmental spot and be like, well, why would you wait till the last minute? You know, a lot of times people want to see where these hurricanes are going to go before they up and pick their life up and go somewhere else, you know, because they got to find accommodations if they don't have family.
True. Like, same with winter storm preparation. Like, you know, like the South is not equipped to have 8 inches of snow. You know, we ain't like Chicago and Minnesota. Like, see they got systems in place to help with that snow plows and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people they don't let's say a snowstorm gonna hit the South on a Sunday, and it's Tuesday. Like any average person will say, it might not even hit here. It might melt, or it might be too warm for snow, or something like that. But again, like I say, like I told y'all earlier, like this local Walmart I saw on Facebook, the line was from the front of the store would check out at to the back of the store. Like people, that's how long that line was. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't wait till the last minute, if but she's right, like hurricane paths change because computer models change. It's technology, you know. So it's hard. I get. No, I say with the winter storm. I get why people do what they do. You I said a couple of times they probably prepared for a potential winter storm to hit the area, and it didn't. Same with the hurricane. They evacuated, and the hurricane either didn't do no damage or it moved eastward or westward. I get it, but I'm gonna say about that is you got to be cautious. You gotta. Sometimes it's best to tread with caution.
In another state over or something like that. So a lot of people may wait to see, is this thing gonna turn around? Is it gonna fizzle out? What's the deal? And a lot of times, they at the whim of looking at the news just like we are in other states and saying, okay, they don't know for sure how this thing is going to go down. So like I said, I don't want to be one that's just sitting here from a place of judgment and be like, well, why would you wait till the last minute to go? Everybody is going to be packed or whatever. I kind of can empathize and say that people are probably was trying to see where this thing was going to go, and then also boarding up their home, boarding up their windows and their doors, and trying to secure their homes or whatever so that they can leave. So I don't want us to be sitting here from a place of privilege and be like, why you don't leave, and da 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 da. And, it's all easy. You can say that when it's not you. Okay, you can say that real easy when it's not you. All right, so we can't sit here from a place.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's what people do. People like to judge people for their quote unquote actions. Like people think of this shit, but the problem is that money, time, in their current situation. Do they have the money to evacuate early or evacuate at all? I mean, depending on their job, a lot of these people work jobs. A lot of these jobs, they do different things. Maybe they probably won't close until the day up before the hurricane, or in current situation. I just thought about this. Maybe they can't evacuate because maybe they taking care of a parent or something like that, or a loved one, a significant other. Need special care. Like you just can't pack up that special care person. Maybe they bedridden or whatever and leave unless you got a special vehicle to take them in. Like there's a lot of stuff to consider here. And shame on that Tampa mayor. Like they're just some heartless bullshit. She said.
Place of privilege and all that type of thing, and be like, nah, it's not cool to do that.
Everyone wants to comment talking about leave, evacuate. You guys don't understand. That's not an option for a lot of people. One, all the surrounding states are full. Do not just see what the last storm did. They're full. They're fucked up. They can't accommodate us. All of our highways, all of our roads out. They're blocked, they're congested, they're flooded. What are we gonna do, get stuck in the storm on the highway? I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I'll take my chances in my home. I'll get in my attic if I have to, and get up on my roof if I have to. I am mentally preparing my.
There were a lot of people did on Katrina. They was on top of their roofs with signs say, "Help me," rescue me, and the National Guard had to save them, you know, like, I'm pretty sure this woman wants to evacuate, but she's not able to, I hate to say this, but the government failed them. The government failed all these people on this TikTok. They failed all of them. The government has failed you, people. Like, that's why you blaming your neighbor because you know, you need to blame it's the bigger picture here. Look at the bigger picture. Oh, they're just ruthless, careless, stupid. No, it's the government.
Myself for that. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm not trying to freak out. I got 4 kids. I gotta.
And think about the congestion on the highway. That's why we need high speed rail. Maybe if the government provided us with with help to evacuate, along with high speed rail, well, people they could multiple like round trips to take these people more inland to a safer place away from the hurricane instead of all these fucking cars on the highway. Take the cars off the highway. That'll be nice, high speed rail. Nobody's talking about this, but leftists. I say leftists, but yeah, like high speed rail. Like nobody consider that. And Brightline, I guess it's okay, but it's only limited to Orlando and Miami, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we need Brightline, but even faster around the country. I'm just saying.
Staying calm, cool, and collected for. Storm surge is going to be what it is. There's nowhere inland for us to really go. Shelters are schools around here, and the schools aren't much better, and they're already full. It's now kind of.
Somebody said, man. Somebody said, I seen this on Twitter not on Twitter, on Facebook. Well, they could go south of of where the hurricane at. How they gonna go southward? But that's the Everglades of Florida, right? Yeah. I'm gonna ask this person again on Facebook. Have you ever seen a map of Florida? Like a big section of the Everglades. What they gonna go to the Everglades full of alligators and swamps. Well, yeah, you got Miami, but I mean, like Miami is already a busy area. Like, a lot of these people ain't got nowhere to go. What they gonna camp in the Everglades? Like, that's just fucking stupid. See what I'm saying? My God, man.
Category 5. We didn't flood with Ian. My yard doesn't flood very easily, so I'm hoping we make out the same way Ian was. We'll get another update this evening, and we'll go from there. What we can do is hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And, yeah. There's not anything more we can do.
It just really breaks my heart. Like, it just really breaks my heart to see, especially people with children that feel like they don't have any option. They got to stay where they are. And it breaks my heart to hear her say that she'll get up in the attic. She might even get up on the roof. And see, that's where a lot of the first responders and people are saying, okay, we need you to evacuate, because if the storm surge or whatever was to get as high as they think it is going to get, like 12 feet or whatever, that's going to cause a lot of mass flooding, then now you're going to be putting the first responders in risk of trying to save you, going out there with helicopters or whatever, trying to rescue you off a roof or something like that, and your kids and your animals or whatever. And so I understand where the first responders are coming from when they're telling you guys.
Yeah. Watching these videos, that's why I try to stay off social media, like, because TikTok and Twitter, those two platforms especially, like they are the platform where people really speak their minds, hearing like these people, like they just have no other options, like they just like the woman said, if I have to be on top of the roof, I can't leave because I can't afford obligations, like you know, our government officials are fucking sick ass motherfuckers, man. Like they'd rather fund Israel than make sure these people stay safe, stay alive. Like I hate to say this, but some of these people a lot of these people that I see on TikTok and Twitter talking about they can't afford to evacuate, some of these people might leave us, man. Like because storm surge or flooding or they might be injured, might get injured by debris or something like that. Like and they can't get help. The first responders, yeah, they right, but again, like the same people that are paying your paychecks, first responders should be. Those people should make sure those people evacuate, so y'all, won't get those calls of people stuck on their roofs. You see what I'm saying? Like it'd be easy on y'all. Maybe y'all can like aid in traffic or whatever coming back, or whatever. Man, it's rough, man. I'm still thinking I should continue this. Uh, man, I'm getting emotional now, man, because I'm worried about Ty Peasant, man. Like, Ty Peasant, yeah, she live more inland, but you know, she can't evacuate. She's one of the good examples. She can't, just pack up and leave. Like, she got kids, she got a job. Like, you know, fuck this network. I want her safe. I want her happy. This network not important. Her life come first. So, a kid's life, her life come before this network. Same for the other people. So, oh man, America is so fucked, man. It's so fucked. Climate change in our government.
Guys, please don't put our lives in danger as well, trying to save your life, from, flood waters and that kind of thing. And then I understand where they're coming from and saying, I can't afford to leave, or where am I going to go? Or if I get stuck out here in traffic trying to leave and then, the weather gets bad, what am I going to do? So, I mean, I can see this from all spectrums. And so in the comments, please, guys, let me know what you think as well.
Even if I did want to evacuate, where am I going? This is people trying to get out of.
Wow, that's what I said too. Like, hey, I'm gonna leave. Hey, get in the car. See that? I'm gonna turn around, man. I'm gonna try to get off an exit or whatever. High speed rail would solve that issue quickly.
Tampa, gridlock. I just saw a video of a woman that's been on the road for 4 hours. And in 4 hours, it's been bumper to bumper traffic. She only moved 60 miles.
Wow.
60 miles in 4 hours.
4 hours takes me to Birmingham from where I live. Take me to Birmingham, Alabama. And that's 260 miles. And this woman was in bumper traffic for 4 hours, and she only moved 60 miles. Florida's a big state. I've been to Florida most of the time. 60 miles ain't far. 60 miles ain't no mile. Like you probably in the same county. Like Florida got big counties too. Oh my goodness gracious! Like this is so hard, man. This shit, man. Wow.
From Orlando, it takes about 3 hours to get to Miami, and that's over 200 miles. And you telling me that in
and then, Tampa to Orlando is 70 some miles. So that's an hour, 2 hour drive, depending on how you go. So basically, shit. That's crazy. It's crazy.
4 hours, you ain't even. So the whole time you sitting in the car, you're burning gas.
4 hours, you ain't even move, basically.
Okay, soon these gas stations are not going to have any more gas. I was born and raised in Miami, and we do hurricanes, and we never ever leave. And I lived like 20 minutes from the beach growing up. For the most part, I have all my necessities. I'm going to make a video tomorrow and show y'all where I'm sleeping. I have a decent size walk-in closet, so we're just going to hunker down in there with the kitties, me and my daughter. And we have batteries. We have one eye.
Yeah, she in Miami. So they probably gonna get them strong winds, but yeah, still take precautions. But yeah, man, the video almost done. I probably ain't gonna play much more, man. Man, like these are a few videos this woman have. Like, if you go on TikTok and type in Hurricane Milton, this shit go on and on and on and on and on. Wow. Like, people say they can't afford to evacuate, or some people, like she says, she got tips on how to prepare. Like, it's wild.
butane stove. I cooked already today, so that food is freezing. We got water, and we're just gonna ride it out. But I will definitely keep y'all posted. Now, I seen a lot of Florida peoples in my comment on my last post, and I didn't know so many of y'all were local. So definitely engage with this post. Let me know how you guys are doing, and if there's anything that we can do after this to help, let's do it. But y'all know how we do Floridians. Let's hunker down.
The real Florida natives born and raised in Florida know the routine when a hurricane is coming. 9 times out of 10, we're not evacuating. Usually it's the people that's not from Florida that evacuate. The real Florida natives, we don't evacuate. We're gonna sit here and stick it out. But while we're sitting here and stick it out, we are gonna prepare. Like, don't get it twisted. We are gonna prepare. So when we know when it's looking a little serious, we are gonna prepare. But at the same time, we're gonna prepare and shut the fuck up. Like, all that, this gonna be catastrophic, this is gonna be life-threatening, this is gonna be Hurricane Katrina, tornado, like all of that.
To be honest with you, Hurricane Katrina, the reason why that was so bad is because the levees broke, in New Orleans. So yeah, usually in Florida, when they get hurricanes, they be like Cat 1s, Cat 2s. You can survive that. Cat 5, yeah, or once in 100-year storm, I'll say, take that way more seriously than what her lane was a Cat 2, I think, Cat 3, yeah. So
It's not needed. And that's not saying that we don't take it seriously, but it's just like, we do take it seriously. We understand how serious it is, but at the same time, we are not on all that. We're not on all that. Like, y'all keep that shit over there. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm prepared. I'm as prepared as I will be. I'm
thinking about it. I helped Ty Peasant prepare. I gave her some money. I wish I gave her more, but I hope she got some more funds on not GoFundMe, Cash App. you know you know yeah. Then this is when mutual aid too, I forgot to mention this, comes into play. Like, you know you could do your part to help these people that's in the path of these storms. Like, if they ask for mutual aid on Twitter, hit them up. Get them how much you got, even $1. Like, it things you can do to help. Like, maybe with $5 they could buy a case of water, or buy some non-perishable food items and stuff like that. Like, mutual aid is important, people.
sticking it out at right here, and shut the fuck up about the rest, okay?
It is 5:10. I can't sleep. Anxiety through the roof. So I don't know. The storm supposed to touch down, but Bayshore is already at waist level. That's not good. The storm haven't even got close, and it's already at waist level. So that is definitely a bad sign. That means when the storm do get here, all that's gonna be extremely high and extremely flooded. The area I'm in, they told us to have enough food for 3 days, enough water for 3 days to survive without power. I will say, if we go without power, I'm gonna try to do like a barbecue maybe in my backyard. I do got a lot of water. I did put water in the freezer, so if my power go out, I could throw out in the sink to keep it like good and cold. I got bread, meat. Y'all, I'm so scared. My anxiety is up to here. I cannot sleep. I cannot rest. I'm overthinking. I am ready for this to be done and over. And then I think me seeing the reporter cry is like,
Yeah, man. Yeah. I seen, this meteorologist. He was emotional. Like, when you see meteorologists, they do this shit for a living. But you see them emotional over a hurricane? Once in 100-year hurricane? Yeah, I mean to hit that area, Tampa. Yeah, it's serious. It's really serious, and Kamala the Biden administration, Kamala part of the Biden administration. They're not doing their due diligence at all. Like they could have, people are reactionary. Like if people, they botched Hurricane Helene at recovery efforts. Well, maybe maybe take some of that Israel money and give it towards the people that trying to evacuate Milton, or or have to recover from this. Like it could help out a lot, but nah, more money to Israel.
Just top tier for me. I got 3 children. I do got their life jackets. We are ready to survive. And I'm just in mama mode right now, bitch. Like,
Do y'all hear that, man? That's wow. You heard what she said? She said they got life jackets for her and her kids. Yeah, yeah, you hear that, man? That's not good. And then she said water's already at waist level. I think this the surge is at waist level. Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna have to make sure these kids is okay.